Hello, Sunshines. This is the video for Monday, April 27th. I hope you had a great weekend, and I also hope that everybody in your family and you are healthy. Okay? This is our first class of the week, and we're going to start with the reading that we left last week that we didn't work with. Okay? So please take out your workbook. Okay? Here's your workbook and open it up, please, on page 126. Okay, page 126, the glass blower. Okay, like the other time, I am going to read the reading in English and then in Spanish, so it is very clear for you. And then we are going to answer the understand on page 127. I am going to answer it, so when you watch the video, you read and you can answer, okay? And we'll have the same answers. So let's start reading. It is called The Glass Blower. My dad took me to visit Mr. Donatello, a famous glass blower. He lived in a small house in the country. Next to the house was his workshop. That's where he blew glass. "Hello," said Mr. Donatello. "Welcome to my workshop. Let me show you around." There were glass objects everywhere, glasses, vases, pitchers, and bowls. Slowly and carefully we moved toward the glassware. I moved more slowly than my dad and Mr. Donatello. I was afraid I might fall and break the delicate objects. Glass blowing was invented by the Romans in the 1st century before the Christ. Mr. Donatello explained. For centuries, glass blowers have been blowing glass to make objects that hold water. My dad was a glass blower. When I was growing up, he taught me to blow glass. Let me show you how I make these beautiful things. Mr. Donatello walked slowly toward the furnace. He placed a pair of protective plastic glasses over his eyeglasses. Then, very carefully, he extended the blowpipe into the furnace and pulled out a ball of molten glass. First, he rolled the molten glass ball on a steel table. "This is to shape the glass," he explained. "I'm going to make a beautiful bowl." Then he used metal tools to help him get the ball into the shape he wanted. Finally, he began to blow into the blowpipe. "I have to work very quickly," he said, "before the glass gets hard." Mr. Donatello worked more quickly than I have ever seen someone work, and in just a short time he made a beautiful glass bowl. Okay, very good. Now I am going to read it in Spanish. Remember that when I read in Spanish, I read it a little bit more slow, so we'll understand, okay? El soplador de vidrio. Mi papá me llevó a visitar al señor Donatello, un famoso soplador de vidrio. Vivía en una pequeña casa en el campo. Al lado de su casa está su taller. Ahí es donde soplaba vidrio. «Hola», dijo el señor Donatello. «Bienvenidos a mi taller. Permítanme mostrarles lo que hay». Había objetos de cristal por todas partes, vidrios, jarrones, jarras y tazones. Despacio y con cuidado nos movimos hacia los objetos de cristal o hacia la cristalería. Yo me movía más despacio que mi papá y el señor Donatello. Tenía miedo de que pudiera caerme y romper los delicados objetos. El soplado de vidrio fue inventado por los romanos en el primer siglo antes de Cristo, explicó el señor Donatello. Por siglos, los sopladores de vidrio han estado haciendo cristal para hacer objetos que guarden el agua. Mi padre era un soplador de vidrio. Cuando yo estaba creciendo, él me enseñó a soplar vidrio. Déjenme enseñarles cómo hago estos hermosos objetos. El señor Donatello caminó muy despacio hacia el horno. Se puso un par de anteojos protectores de plástico sobre sus propios anteojos. Después, con mucho cuidado, extendió el tubo de soplado hacia el horno y sacó una bola de cristal fundido o derretido. Primero, rodó la bola de cristal derretido en una mesa de acero. Esto es para darle forma al cristal, explicó. Voy a hacer un hermoso tazón. Después utilizó herramientas de metal para ayudarlo a que el cristal tuviera la forma que él quería. Finalmente, comenzó a soplar por el tubo. Tengo que trabajar muy rápido, dijo, antes de que el cristal se endurezca. El señor Donatello trabajó más rápido de lo que yo hubiera visto nunca a nadie trabajar. En un periodo muy corto, en un tiempo muy corto, hizo un hermoso tazón de cristal. Okay, very good. That's our reading. And now on page 127, okay, we are going to answer the understand. Okay? Comprehension. Letter A. How did the invention of blown glass change people's lives? How did the invention of blown glass change people's lives? ¿Cómo la invención del vidrio soplado cambió las vidas de las personas? Okay, now the answer is here. For centuries, glass blowers have been blowing glass to make objects that hold water. For centuries, here, for centuries, glass blowers have been blowing glass to make objects that hold water. Okay? Very good. Now, letter B. Check the answers in number 1. Number the steps in number 2 and summarize in 3. B. Marca las respuestas correctas en el 1. Ordena los pasos en el 2 y resume en el 3. So, number 1. What tools does the glass blower use? What tools does the glass blower use? He uses a blowpipe and a furnace. He uses, letter B, a blowpipe, letter C, a furnace. He uses, letter B, a blowpipe, letter C, a furnace. Number 2. How does the glass blower make the bowl? Number the steps in order. How does the glass blower make the bowl? Number the steps in order. Number 1. Extend the blowpipe into the furnace. Number 1, letter C. Number 2. Pull out a bowl of molten glass. Number 2, letter B. Number 3, roll the molten glass and use tools to shape it. Number 3, letter A. Number 4, blow the glass. Number 4, D. I will repeat them again. Number 1, letter C. Extend the blowpipe into the furnace. Number 2, letter B. pull out a bowl of molten glass. Number 3, letter A. Roll the molten glass and use tools to shape it. Number 4, D. Blow the glass. Okay? Now, very good. Number 3 says, now write a summary of the process in your own words. This is going to be very easy. We are going to write these same sentences, but with some extra words. We are going to write, first, you extend the blowpipe into the furnace. First, you extend the blowpipe into the furnace. Second, you pull out a bowl of molten glass. Second, you pull out a bowl of molten glass. Then, you roll the molten glass and use tools to shape it. Then, you roll the molten glass and use tools to shape it. Finally, you blow the glass. Finally, you blow the glass. Okay? So I used first, second, then, finally, with these same sentences and in the order here. Okay? I am going to repeat it. First, extend the blowpipe into the furnace. Second, pull out a bowl of molten glass. Then, roll the molten glass and use tools to shape it. Finally, blow the glass. Okay? We are using these same sentences, but we are adding first, second, then, finally, or you can say first, second, third, fourth. It's okay. Just use the same order that you have here. Okay? Very easy. Now, letter C. Words in context. Circle the correct answer. Remember that you can circle with anything that you have at hand. If it's a pencil, if it's a color, if it's anything that you want, it's fine. Okay? So, number 1. When you something, you hit it with a hard object. This is vocabulary. When you, letter A, pound something, you hit it with a hard object. When you pound something, you hit it with a hard object. Number 2. She heard, letter B, footsteps coming into the workshop. Circle footsteps, letter B. She heard, letter B, footsteps coming into the workshop. Now, number 3. The glassware is very A, delicate. The glassware is very A, delicate. Number 4. The boy was careful not to B, bump into the table. Number 4. The boy was careful not to B, bump into the table. Okay? Are we clear? Is all the page clear? I am going to give a quick review to all the page so you can check your answers. Okay? So let's review. Letter A. How did the invention of blown glass change people's lives? For centuries, glass blowers have been blowing glass to make objects that hold water. Letter B. Check the correct answers in 1, number the steps in 2, summarize in 3. What tools does the glass blower use? Number 1. Letter B, blowpipe. Letter C, a furnace. Number 2. How does the glass blower make the bowl? Number the steps in order. Number 1, letter C, extend the blowpipe into the furnace. Number 2, letter B. Pull out a bowl of molten glass. Number 3, letter A. Roll the molten glass and use tools to shape it. Number 4, letter D. Blow the glass. Number 3. Now write a summary of the process in your own words. First, extend the blowpipe into the furnace. Second, pull out a bowl of molten glass. Then, roll the molten glass and use tools to shape it. Finally, blow the glass. Okay? And letter C, words in context. Circle the correct answer. When you pound something, you hit it with a hard object. When you pound something, you hit it with a hard object. Number 2, she heard B footsteps coming into the workshop. She heard B footsteps coming into the workshop. Number 3, glassware is very delicate. Glassware is very delicate. Finally, 4, the boy was careful not to B bump into the table. The boy was careful not to B bump into the table. Okay, guys, very good. Now we have finished with the reading. I am going to stop this video here and I am going to record a different where we check the spelling of this week and the memory work. Okay, so see you in the next video. Bye.